Okay, this is the video for the 1988 Honda NX-650 that I am bringing out of my museum for sale. This is one of the nicest condition NX-650s that I have seen, other than a brand new one on the showroom floor, and I'll do a walk around and show you. I purchased this from the original owner, who was an old guy in his early mid-70s that moved into the Oregon area from Montana, and he bought it just to go around town. But you can see it has 4,700 miles on it, and you'll note that there is no sun fading on the instruments. I do have some glare from the overcast that's going on right now, but you can see the instruments are really good. The controls on the handlebars have no fading or wear. All the original decals. Here is the VIN stamp. So this gentleman that I bought it from just used it to go around town, and so he had put on street tires, or at least 90% street tires, on the front and the rear, because he said it ran smoother with them than the original tires that came from Honda. But let's do a walk around. This has the same luggage rack as the Transalp, and this was actually Honda's first adventure bike that they brought to America in '88, and then '89 the Transalp followed. And while the Transalp was a better bike on the highway, this would, basically leave a Transalp, in the dust, on the dirt, although I wouldn't want to see this thing being used in the dirt. But you can see that the seat, the tank, the plastic is all just like new. You got the boots on the forks. Notice the pipes. If you've ever ridden a dirt bike in the dirt, the pipes are never that way again after they get muddy. And you can see the skid plate that comes from the factory is like new. The engine cases have no damage on them. He did install a set of the GV engine case guards, which is a nice compliment. And being black, you hardly notice them, but they're definitely something that's worth having. And then Honda's ProLink suspension. And then, and look at the exhaust pipes. And this has, even though it's a single cylinder, it has a 4-valve head, and they gave each bank of valves its own exhaust pipe. But look at the condition of the pipes. It's just amazing. And so I believed the guy when he said that he had never taken it off-road, and neither have I. Its condition is just like new. Now, I live in Oregon, and because the bike is over 25 years old, I applied for and acquired special interest plates. These are permanent plates, so you never have to go through DEQ, you never have to go and renew them every 2 years. They're permanent. If I sell the bike to somebody that lives in Oregon, the plates will go with the bike. If I sell it to somebody outside of Oregon, then I will keep the plates and just transfer them to another bike. Now, if you're familiar with any of the NXs, these tail sections are almost always broken and cracked, and you just don't see any of that here. You see how clean the engine is. Obviously it hasn't been caked and baked in dirt. The front is nice. You can see the mirrors. The levers, bar ends, haven't made contact with the pavement. It is really a nice bike. It'd be a shame for this not to be ridden, although I hope whoever buys it doesn't have aspirations of taking it off in the dirt, because that would just be a waste for a 31-year-old model-year-old bike. One of the things that's interesting, I guess is the best word to use it, is you see right here inside of the front of the skid plate is where you have a locking toolkit container, because the seat comes off with bolts after you take the side covers off. So Honda chose to put the toolkit there, and it takes the ignition key to open it. So that's kind of interesting, I would say. Has fresh oil and filter. The rear or the front brakes have been flushed, and it's ready to go. You can see here I have a battery tender hooked up, which you can use to plug in your electric vest or your electric gloves, as well as plug in a battery tender. When I took it out of the collection and unmothballed it, we drained out the treated gas in the tank, and I put in half a tank of non-ethanol premium. But I did a half a tank, so hopefully you can see the condition of the tank. Hopefully. I'll take some pictures on the inside too, but it's very clean on the inside. So I will start it up, and here's the choke. So this is choke on, there's half choke, and that's choke off. So I'll turn the choke on, turn the key on, hit the starter, and there we go. And after just a few minutes, you can move it to half choke, and it does a fast idle right around 2,000 RPMs. And here is where you check your oil level. The oil runs in the frame and has a dry sump engine. And so you actually have to run the engine for about 5 minutes, and then stand the bike straight up, turn this out, and check the dipstick for the oil level. But you can't check it correctly cold. The engine has to be run a little bit because it has to get the oil out of the dry sump. So now I will turn this off. So now this is fully off choke. Okay, and it's idling about 1,200 RPMs. Once it gets fully warmed up, it should go up to about 1,450. But just look at the condition of everything. It's very nice. So here's the low beam, the high beam. You can see the high beam comes on, so that works. Here is the left turn signal, front, rear, right turn signal, rear, front, tail light is on, and you can see the brake light, rear brake light. Just look at these pipes. They're in such great condition. So I think that should pretty much do it. Happy bidding!